Hey, what's up folks? Back with another video. Today I want to talk about this, and it may be a little controversial, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna go out here and I'm gonna start making videos based on what I'm thinking, because I have a lot of thoughts and I'm not gonna hold back anymore. So this is what I'm thinking. And it might be plenty of videos out there, I don't know. I'm not watching other videos in order for me to figure out what other people are talking about, because I want to talk about it from a unique perspective. So I'm not out there searching videos, and I have not searched an article. I will probably do so after the video, but a lot of poor people are rich in America, that is. And maybe even certain parts of other countries like Europe. And, so to speak. Now, hear me out here. I'm not saying that all poor people are rich, right? Don't make me go through and say, oh, you got homeless, you got this, we all know. I'm assuming people who are looking at this video are educated enough where I don't have to go through the whole spectrum and explain to you that I don't mean all poor people are rich. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in America, well, maybe you don't, but in America, a lot of poor people who are considered poor are actually rich. Now, the wealth gap may be very far, right? Because America has most of the top wealthiest people in the world. We all know that. So the wealth gap between poor and rich is very wide. It's probably the widest in any other country in America. But with that said, the poor people within America are also rich compared to others. How do I know this? I know this because I travel all around the world. That's how I know this. Right? It's not like I looked up an article, but I will look up an article at the end of this video, and I may even link some details in this particular video, but I know this based off of firsthand experience of going around the world. I also know this just from my childhood and growing up, right? I'm in one of the areas in the country that you might consider one of the rough areas. I don't live in the rough area, but I'm not too far from it. One of the roughest cities in America. And I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't grow up in that particular city, but I spent a lot of time in that city because my grandparents lived in that city on both sides, my father and my mother side. So I was always there. It was like a second home to me. But I can tell you this, even in the suburb that I grew up in, when I went to school, when I was younger, I grew up in what you consider a middle-class family. But a lot of the people that were considered poor, that had free lunch, food stamps, Section 8 housing, guess what? They used to come to school with Jordans, fresh clothes, nice book bags. They used to go out to eat all the time. When I used to go over to their house, to their mother's house, or the house where they lived, they had plenty of clothes in the closet, plenty of food. Mother had cars, father, they weren't in their life, but maybe will come over to the house, would have, all types of stuff. They would have all types of toys, everything you can think of. Back in the day, it was a water bed was the thing. They had water beds, I remember, a couple of my friends. And then when I would go back to my house, it looked like I was rich. We didn't have any of that stuff, right? My parents were pretty much, just like a typical middle class family within America, where they didn't just have frivolous money where they could just buy me and my other siblings Jordans and all these other clothes. But the quote unquote people who were poor that were getting free lunch, they had it all. I remember I had to actually go out and work for my money by cutting grass and doing, just different things, different odd jobs when I was a kid. This is elementary school, to save up my money in order to go out and buy some shoes. Why? Because my parents used to shop at Marshalls, TJ Maxx, places like that. Now, I'm not complaining. I had a great childhood growing up, trust me. But I'm just saying the difference. The poor people had all the name brand clothes. Again, not all, just for you all police out there, I'm talking about a lot of them that I knew. But we were shopping at TJ Maxx. In fact, I used to get sometimes not picked on, because I didn't get picked on in school. I wasn't one of the type of dudes that got picked on. But my point is, when we would make fun of each other, it was a normal thing in school, right? At least when I grew up. Guess what? They had a lot of material on me because I didn't have all the name brand stuff that they had. So I had to get on them through other means, right? Here's another thing. I have rental properties. Some of those rental properties, a good portion of them, are Section 8 rental properties. Now, I'm not judging anybody on Section 8. Some people need Section 8. I have no, I'm not getting into that in this video. But one thing I can say is when I go in there, the tenants have nice cars, typically. House full of food, house full of clothes. Kids are well taken care of. So that is just a quick video I wanted to get out here and just say, hey, look, one thing again I want to say is that some of the poor people within our country are actually rich compared to other countries. And just what I have in my mind, I almost forgot because I'm just coming off the top of my head, going to other countries. When I've gone to other countries, let's say some third world countries, they consider third world, those people are actually poor, living in makeshift huts, just the environment. When I went to a couple countries in Brazil, I've been in different countries within Brazil. I like to travel and just see different parts of the world. And when I travel to these parts of the world, I like to go to the bad parts and I like to go to the good parts. And when I go to the bad parts of some of these countries, let's say like Brazil, or let's say like Aruba, I'm just naming 2 out of many countries I've been to, they actually have some seriously poor people. Now, granted, again, here in America, there are certain countries, certain states here in America that I've been to, of course, that are like that as well, especially you go to like some of the quote unquote flyover parts of America. I just recently got back from New Mexico and I was in a whole bunch of different places in New Mexico hanging out, just taking in New Mexico, the beauty in New Mexico, and then also, again, going to the bad in New Mexico. And there's certain places there that almost look like a third world country. I'm not saying all New Mexico, I'm just talking about some parts. It's some parts in the city that I am around here that you would damn near consider a third world country as well, based on the abandoned houses and things of that nature. So I'm just saying it to say that it's not like not within reality. I understand things out there, but I'm just comparing what I've seen. And so, again, America, some of the people who are poor, a lot of people who are poor in America, the point of this video, are a lot more wealthier than other parts of this particular world that we live in. All right? So do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your opinions. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video to this one where I'm actually listing out some points and actually going point by point and actually making my points a little more sharper. But right now, I just had it on my mind. I wanted to turn the camera on and just kind of freestyle it, all right? Talk to you guys later.